Hey guys, Kickassreaction here, and we are back to continue on with more of My Hero Academia. So we're in now the, aftermath of the first half of this season. I don't know if it's literally just called, the Paranormal Liberation Front arc or whatever. But we're pretty much done at this point, I'd say, with all the battles in it. You know, Shigaraki's been out, he's retreated. Makia is presumably captured, which is ridiculous, you know. And every single one of our named heroes is pretty much tapped out. So yeah, I'm curious how we're going to end this off. Obviously, this has been an arc of destruction beyond anything we've had in My Hero Academia previously to this point. And yeah, I guess now we'll just be picking up the pieces of, you know, of our fallen heroes, and yeah, just continue on. I have no idea what we do in terms of an arc after this one, you know. Like I said, I don't imagine we go back to the school stuff now, with Shigaraki being out there, with the influence that he has now, with so many members of the previous Metal Liberation Army being, you know, being present. So I'm just curious how we continue on with the rest of this season, and obviously stuff beyond that, with this, you know, with this being like a very impactful, arc. But yeah, either way though, guys, let's just go into this. Alright, so, episode 14. Let's do it.
かなり後になってからだけど、ヒーロー公安委員会による報告書を読み、
Damn.
僕はこの一連の事件の全貌を
I am nowhere. Holy shit.
ヴィラン掃討作戦が開始される直前、公安は低下事件に関わる重要人物を本部ビルへと招いている。
Direstro is still around.
おめでとうございます社長。まさか公安からサポートアイテム共同開発の依頼が来るとは。
Interesting.
しかし不思議です。
Yeah, he did nothing.
我が社の製
This
品が
arc.
社会不安を増長させると公安は目を光らせていたはず。
さすがの彼らもうちの製品が無視できなくなったのだよ。
Yeah, I was honestly really disappointed in how little Direstro did in the previous arc. I really expected more from him. It was basically just, you know, the suck off arc for Shigaraki, basically.
そして彼らが子飼いにしているエージェントの正体を突き止めることも。
Interesting.
頂上解放戦線はさらなる飛躍を遂げる。真の解放者である信楽戸村と共に。
Yeah.
異能の解放。
我が父デストロが望んだ世界の訪れは近い。もう一人の私も。
I guess we'll see.
とても喜んでい
That fucking nose is magnificent. Oh, okay, so yeah, definitely new cut time. So I believe I've been told to watch the second OP in, I think it's episode 19, so we're not watching it yet. We got quite a bit of time before we end up watching it, so we're just gonna skip over here. Where is the end of this? Okay, here should be fine. Oh my god, this guy.
いいえ、とんでもありません。
今回は我が社に有益な提案をしていただき誠にありがとうございます。
こちらこそ優秀な製品を数多く手掛けるデトネラット社と提携できることを公安代表として光栄に思ってます。ですが今回の提案は白紙に戻させていただきます。
Wow. Oh, fuck. Oh, get screwed. No. Hellish Hell. That's a lovely title. They killed her. No way. Oh, crap.
あなた方公安に見張られていることは知っていたが、ついにうちの製品を無視できなくなったかと。
You misjudged greatly.
二つの顔でぬか喜びした。
For the first time in my life, my stress wasn't activating.
まさかこのような強硬策を打ってくるとは。これがあなた方の作り上げてきた秩序か。
You underestimate, you know, the government and how many people they'll just take out.
必要だったのだろう。だが我々が求めるは秩序なき秩序。 誠の自由
Order without order, huh?
解放せよ種はすでにまかれているのだ
What the hell?
会長の死亡により公安の指揮系統
Since when could he do that?
予定通りヴィラン掃討作戦は決行され
Since
た
when could his quirk just goop him?
エンデバーを
That-
中心
that's
と
not
したチームは
how that
弱病院
quirk
に突入
worked.
目標は
Unless that was
オール・フォー・ワンの腹心であり怪人ノームを製造したガラキ9
Oh, for flashbacking, there might have just been twice his quirk.
遊んでは捨ててきたあまたの者が言ってんだ
I guess because yeah, he did go into war.
次はこっちが奪う番
しかし拘束したガラキは
Alright, so yeah, that must have been prior to the arc, I
トワイス
guess.
の個性によって
Because
作
yeah,
られ
like
た不正だ
twice is gone, twice is long gone
ド
now.
ームたちの反撃によりヒーローたちは交戦状態に陥る今思えば後方支援をしていた
This better not be a recap episode because like just
戦いは始まっていたのだ
just no on
突
every
入から
front.
3分後ミルコが本物のガラキを追い詰めるもガラキは上位版ノームハイエンドを起動させる
Those thighs. Yeah, Mirio's an interesting introduction to the show, but it's just a shame because she was out pretty quickly
ミ
actually.
ルコは負傷しながらも改造中の死柄木弔のもと
Kind of just one of those heroes that came out of nowhere really in this arc.
しかし装置の破壊には至らず駆けつけたヒーローたちも加わり現場は混戦状態となった
Like guys, you know this is the days of the internet, right? Like these episodes are
死柄木は目覚めた
everywhere online as soon as they get released. You don't have to recap. We are not confined to watching an episode a week and only an episode anymore. We've evolved past
あ
that.
の時僕は感じていた
Oh dear
死
me.
柄木がそこにいることをエンデバーチームの突入と同時刻蛇空病院から80キロ離れた頂上解放戦線のアジト軍が3層でもエッジショットを中心としたチームがヴィラン掃討作戦を開始していた
His only contributing moment in the entire arc. But it's more than what he's had previously, you know?
奇襲が功を奏し
Alright.
戦いはヒーロー優勢で展開されていく
I guess we're really doing this.
報告書によると潜入捜査中のホークスは戦いの行方を左右すると見られていたトゥワイス
Just had a massive recap from Yu-Gi-Oh! GX as well, and now I'm getting this.
あなたは運
What
が
a
悪かっただけだ
ridiculous position to put him in.
罪を償ってやり直
I don't
せ
even know how that works.
俺のことなんかとっくにどうでもいいんだよ
I guess, you know,
ホークスは
the league did have its big three, Shigaraki, Toga, and obviously, Darby, so, you know,
辛くも現場
the
から
other three were like on the chopping block, but it's such a shame it was twice of them, you know?
正しいことをしたんだとだからするな
Because, you know, I love Toga and Darby, but like, they, in terms of power, they're nothing compared to
頂上
twice.
解放戦線幹部の下点オール・フォー・ワンの片腕であるギガントマキアの
Just imagine, like just imagine twice copying, like, All for One or, like, All for One Shigaraki, like, I don't even know how that works, but it probably would work. Or Makia. God damn. I don't think you could do that, but you never know.
圧倒的な力でヒーローたちをねじ伏せていく
Yeah, that fucked her up.
誰も止められない
That's low-key so unrealistic. Because do you know how many times these kids have like fallen from a ridiculous height, not had a quirk that helps out with that, and lived and just walked it off?
ギガントマキアの進軍を
You know,
止めるべく
fall damage isn't even a thing in My Hero.
結構
俺はベッドのやつを俺の後ろに血は流れるさあ皆さんインターン生に頼りっぱなしはここまでにしよう
一方崩壊した蛇空病院跡地ではエ
Shigaraki
ンデ
kept
バーチームと
refusing to
死柄
die.
木との死闘が続いていた
The battle to the death.
天才通信
No one died.
こちらエンデバー
Just to say, no one died.
死にて死柄木と交戦中血に触れずとも動ける者は
Bit of false advertising there.
改造手術で強靭な体と肉体再生を手に入れた信楽にヒーローたちは苦戦を強いられる。
I'd love to see what Darby's version of that would be, since he's got better flames than Endeavor. That actually might have just incinerated Shigaraki.
そしてギガントマキアが信楽の元へ合流。
僕轟東野はエンデバーの
And on top of everything, you know, Toya just ruined people's image of heroes yet again.
自分がエンデバーの実の
After all the credit Endeavor's built up since season like 4's ending, that all disappeared, as did Hawks' rep too. No one knows Best Genius is still alive yet.
圧倒的に不利な状況となったヒーローチームだが
遅れてすまない。
Kind of wild, like him of all people would would tip the scale like that. Just imagine if Wolf 1 did take that quirk in season 3. We genuinely would have lost here.
インターン戦が放った麻酔薬の効果によりギガントマキアの拘束に成功する。だが信楽は病院跡地から現れた
I still love the designs of those Namus.
避難救助と各々の役割を果たし終えた者
Alright,
たち
well,
前線の動ける者による追
alright,
撃
well,
も
that's
叶わ
about, like, you know,
ず
90... Nah, about 40% of the episode that was just recap. 7 Namus, okay. That's pretty cool. Again, someday, the original Namu has to come back. There is zero chance it doesn't, and I'm just waiting.
現場にいたヒーロー全員が口を揃えて否定したと記されている。僕やかっちゃん、轟くんについて報告
I
書
don't
に
know
書かれていたの
how
は
Kachan was still alive at this point, but you know, he
でも
is.
僕は覚えている。信楽が、いや、オール・フォー・ワンが、ワン・フォー・オールを狙っていること。
As always.
僕たちはそっちへは行かない。僕たちはこの子の中にいることを選んだ。
Like, you know, be real.
僕は覚
Even
え
if
てい
he
る。
did get one for all,
初代ワン・フォー・
he'd
オ
be
ール
hearing
の
the
言葉を
the endless whispers of the previous like users forever.
信楽が
That would be genuine torture. Is the power honestly worth it
助
at
けを
that
求め
point?
るように見えたことを。
Gross.
信楽逃亡後の報告書はとてもシンプルに事実だけが記載されていた。
We lost.
蛇空総合病院理事長唐木9代、殺人幇助、死体損壊、違法建築、個性使用違反、病院資金横領等の罪で逮捕拘束。ギガントマキア
They actually
確保、
got Makia.
護送のため輸送ヘリ
Those
2機
are
を使
some
用。
big losses,
ヴィ
genuinely.
ラン連合メンバー佐古敦弘、ヴィラン名ミスターコンプレス
Ah, they got him
確保。
too.
意識不明の重体のため病院に搬
No,
送。
at least he's alive, I guess.
活動不能状態のノームは名電にて拘束、検視のため移送。蛇空病院
Like,
跡地に残さ
like
れた
genuinely,
連合が使
Shigaraki.
用したと思われる
Like,
機
like
材
you
の
gotta
回
have a,
収
you gotta make some kind of
および
plan to break these assets out of prison, man. They are worth the risk, genuinely. Makia, the Namu, the Doctor, like, they're ridiculously OP assets. Ow. And now you've lost, like D-Restoro too? Holy crap. What have we actually got left here? That face on our cemented man is beautiful. Let's go, Cementos. Good luck getting out of that, by the way. That's cement.
頂上解放戦線幹部リ・デストロこと四つ橋力也確保。頂上解放戦線幹部下天確保。頂上解放戦線幹部にして新旧党党首花畑航空確保。軍賀山荘の会議に集まった頂上解放戦線構成員16,929人確保。ギガントマキアと共に山荘を離れた頂上解放戦線幹部を含む132名現在も逃走中。掃討作戦と同時に実施された全国に点在する頂上解放戦線
So like I said, this really should be impacting the rest of the season at
全員
least.
拘束逃走者なしの成果を上げる。
I just don't know what we do after this though.
頂上解放戦線審判の制圧および拘束にも成功。報告書はここで終わっている。ヴィラン掃討作戦についての報告書なのだからそれ以上付け加えることはないのかもしれない。けれど
Okay.
掃討作戦の余波は
Random Endeavor
その
plushie.
被害は
19事務所インターン生からの報告。戸賀姫子逃走中。まだ近くにいるとのこと。
Yep. No way, like they captured Toga as well, right? Like if they were gonna do that, they probably would have done that already. Yeah, the civilians are in chaos. How do you go back from that? You know? God damn. Ow. Aww. Well, I really doubt they'd show that. Nice. That was close. That was.
こっちの子足を怪我してるし、とりあえず避難所に運ばなきゃ。私行くね。
It's been a long, long day.
僕に妻が
何号室ですか。
403。
助けるんだ。
If there's anything left to save.
みんなを。すみませんが、歩けるなら自力で避難所へ向かってください。
Weeks of this, honestly. There's going to be countless weeks of
こ
this.
こにはある。だから全力で。
What a weird quirk that was.
あそこの屋根に老夫婦が取り残されている。
Oh, that's actually a great quirk for this.
橋のマンションの5階にも。
任せろ。行けて。大型持ってきて。
先生、あと4パックしかありません。
足りないよ全然。
先生意識がありません。
そこに寝かせておけ。しかし全員を助けられない。治療可能な患者を優先する。
大丈夫、落ち着いて。すぐに持ってくるから。
Yeah. People are definitely gonna die even when you find them. You just don't have the supplies on hand to deal with a destruction of this level, like multiple cities worth.
これはもうダメでしょ。
Ooh. And now the despair's kicking in. Our despair goddess would be proud.
転職先探さなきゃ。
God damn! Well, you really did lose heart.
サタラなんでどうしてさっきまで通信してたよな。聞いてたよな声。
先生メダイ先生。
Oh shit! Oh shit! We really lost someone!
騙して
Oh my god, we lost Midnight! Oh wow. Really? Oh yeah, I guess she got jumped, didn't she? That she actually got jumped by someone. Wow, that okay. That's actually a, she wasn't like the most relevant, but she was fairly common in the series. Right, we actually lost Midnight. That's crazy.
警察署で取り調べを受けたガラキの供述によると、あの時、シガラキは確実に死んでいた。装置を壊された時点で蘇生の道は断たれていた。その時の関連は、傍らのエクセレスにすら感じ取れないほどかすかなもので、蘇生には不十分だった。シガラキを蘇らせたのは、夢と憎しみ。たった一つ確かなのは
BS! It was anime shenanigans for the plot.
多くのものが散っていったこと。
Yeah, barely anyone we actually know of though. Bunch of extras.
やば、これ終わったっしょ。ダビうぜえ。けどこれ縁でどうすんだろう。
Endy.
このニュース本当なのかしら。だとしたら大変よ。ナンバー2の頃から何か裏があると思ってたのよ。
あしら守るんが仕事じゃないんか。
Yep. He built so much credit for himself since Season 4's finale, and it's been toppled over again. At a time like this, when you start to doubt your number one... Ugh.
感じる。多少想定を外れたが、そろそろかな。
The end result is good enough.
なぜ明日が来ると思うんだろうね。
Oh my god, so he's still got his grip on him.
ここからずっと僕のターンだ。疲れ知らずのノームたちよ。今から僕の本体を。
Like we should have been doing from the fucking start, you know? Like, genuinely, we should have been doing that from the start. Oh my god, because like, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's so many assets in the villain side that we just haven't, like, acknowledged much at all, you know? Because, like, yeah, like Overhaul really at a point when he kind of just went on at Shigaraki for like losing all of these game pieces on the board that unironically are like game changers on their own. You know, the muscular villain, the Namu that is the strength of a depowered All Might, you know, the Doctor himself now who we should get out, fucking All for One himself, you know, just 3 to 4 of those would be like enough to tip the tides on their own solo, you know? And they're all just out there doing their own thing. And we don't have them yet. So I'm very curious. I'm kind of curious now what All for One's like actual end goal is. Has he ever really intended on Shigaraki being like his successor? Or has all of this just been a plan to get himself out and just, you know, it's been a way of him to get his own body out there and take over as the main villain again, you know, because like it did seem like previously he kind of admitted and accepted the fact that like his body was too fucked to ever be like the main bad again, so he was just training Shigaraki to live out his own dream. But yeah, the fact that he's got his own conscience in Shigaraki now and that he wants his own body out, I mean, I don't know. I also don't know just how like probable that is to get him out, because, you know, it's too much. Genuinely, having 2 All for One users is just too much for the heroes, you know? Even with One for All, even if Deku, like, supposedly mastered it or whatever, he's not beating All for One and Shigaraki combined, you know? And Shigaraki doesn't even want to follow in All for One's footsteps, so I'm not sure, honestly, where to go with that. But, yeah, either way, you know, pretty much, you know, this was a big Aftermath episode. Too much recap, honestly. I don't know why they wanted to recap the entire, like, arc in this one when we just finished it off. Like, 13 episodes condensed into 10 minutes isn't going to get you much anyway. But, you know, it is what it is. But, obviously, The effects of this arc will be felt in My Hero probably till the end of the series now, I do imagine. Obviously, the people's opinions are being swayed, you know, the despair is rising as they're considering the idea that they can't trust Endeavor anymore, and that's obviously going to be bad for, you know, if you can't trust your number one hero, and you can't trust your number two hero either, Hawks, who can you trust? You know, how many more heroes are corrupted? How many more heroes are not on the civilian side and could turn at any day? You know, the gears of doubt are turning in people now, and you know, Darby really made an effect on this series that genuinely might not go away at this point. You know, I don't know. But yeah, it's definitely not good. Like I said, so we did lose Midnight. That is another character that we did die. So I can't say we lost no one in this arc. But yeah, it's just her. You know, we lost others as well. You know, we lost a bunch of other nameless potatoes. But at the same time, it's not the biggest loss out there. And I'm sure Midnight does have a fair number of fans in her own league. But you know, it's just not that many. It's not a massive loss overall in the story, but it is like our first genuine loss in the show, because obviously My Hero is very unwilling to actually kill off any of its important cast members. So, you know, especially like the class itself, the teachers. You know, like we kind of implied some things with Aizawa in this one, which he didn't end up losing anything. Okay, he lost his fucking leg, but I'm still holding on to the idea that might get fixed because, you know, Eri at this point, you know, but even still, you know, the impact of this arc will be felt for a long time. Obviously, you can't just walk away from a situation like this. Most of our heroes are just hospitalized at this point. The city's in ruins. Anyone who isn't actually hospitalized is spending like 24/7 on search and rescue. And yeah, just in general, like, you know, for the next, you know, 10 episodes we have of the season, I'm very curious just what we're gonna do with it. As you know, we could we could spend it with trying to break All For One out of prison. That is, I think, a worthy follow-up to this. It's definitely an interesting story to bring along for season 6, and you know, we continue the war that way with the main boss maybe coming out, and then season 7 we just have All For One and Shigaraki out and we're fucked. Or, you know, we win in the end, and, like, possibly in Season 6's end, we actually finish All For One off for good, and then all we have left is Shigaraki. So, you know, I don't imagine All For One to survive in My Hero Academia as a series, but even at this point, it's a little up in the open just when that fucker's gonna die. So, I'm very curious about that. But yeah, you know, this has still been really cool, and it seems like, yeah, All For One's about to make his next move, so that's gonna be fun. But yeah, either way though, guys, that was just mainly an epilogue for the arc. And yeah, I'm curious to see where we're going to go from here, so let's do episode 15. Alright guys, episode 15 of My Hero, let's go. Counterquark. Ah, Tartarus, lovely name.
本土から約 5km 離れた沖に建造された収容施設。便宜上拘置所とされているが、実態は国民の安全を著しく脅かす、あるいは脅かした人物を厳重に禁錮し、監視下に置く施設であり。
I know it's always like a cliche, but it's always so stupid to have them like that many like serious threats in one place. Because if one thing goes wrong in there, everyone's out.
危険性の高い人物ほど地下深くに収監される。一度入れば生きて出ることは叶わないと噂され。
Damn.
個性社会の闇とも呼ばれる。
So it's basically just, yeah, life in prison at least.
感じる。多少想定を外れたが、そろそろかな。なぜ
Yep. So we're going right off of this, huh? No downtime or anything. Poor Spinner's like, what have I got myself into? I don't want to talk to the main boss. I'm curious if the original Namu is in Tartarus as well then. Because obviously his body's like All Might level, so he is a big threat. And if you break All For One out, you might as well break him out too. You know? Maybe Kirigiri's in here as well. And Toga. Who knows what she's doing?
エンデバーを含む145人が入院。ミッドナイト、マジェスティック、他にも大勢命を落とした者がいる。チクシャー、俺たちも現場に行っていれば。気負うなよ。俺たちの仕事はこのタルタロスの警備だ。与えられた任務を忠実にこなせばいい。
Seriously, you can never like let your guard down here. Oh dear.
落とし直した。警備システムチェック。兄貴。
I really feel like just these two guys are not enough to guard this place. Even just the first layer of defense, honestly. Oh, that's a weird one. Are we doing this literally now? Oh my god. There's no way. There's no way we break all for one out in this very episode, right? Like, no way! Okay, he just straight up has just taken Shigaraki for good. Tartarus, yeah! Dude, really? You're really doing this now? Well, if he breaks out here, he very well might die by the end of the season then, I guess. And we'll just have 2 full seasons to, Shigaraki's rule. Oh, and yeah, Makia. Where's Makia? You kinda need a special prison built for how big that fucker is. Yeah. A true monster. Oh, that sucks. Those cells suck.
ただでさえ人権侵害だなんだとつつかれて参ってるんだ。最近はどこから漏れるかわからんぞ。気をつけろ。
Fair enough. Some of them just don't even have beds. Yeah, look at that guy.
人の形をしているだけだ。個性によって規格を失った人類に紛れてしまったおぞましい何かだ。俺たちとは根本的に違うものだ。
You definitely see that though, just those with the exceptionally dangerous quirks, just like the monsters and shit. But yeah, for whatever reason, All For One thinks these 7 Namus are enough to like do this, so I guess we'll see. I guess Shigaraki's here too. At a time where none of the top heroes are like in any condition to do battle. Yeah, this is genuinely a great time for a prison riot. I'm going with dead personally. I ain't risking that. That is a wild design. Okay. Please. Come on, man, I fucking raised you. Just let me break out. You're not a pawn. Oh, that is wild. That is like... I love how Tomura is still like just smiling away at that. Look, man, I've given you everything to this day, including the clothes on your back. Can you please just break me out? That's all I'm asking. I gave you my quirk, man! How much more can I give you? Oh yeah, honestly, decay's enough at this point with its power level. God damn. That's... it's a problem. I'm really curious how we're gonna fix that unfinished body problem.
まったくタルタロス。仮にマキアを連れてこれたとしても、この物量で先手を取られていただろう。仮に体が完成していたとしても、外からの攻略は難しかっただろう。しかしね、やりようはあるんだ。
Honestly, man, like, freeing every last villain in here and starting a massive riot, yeah. That would kind of crumble Japan, honestly. He just needed a moment where he could use his quirk. Just 1 second was enough. Well, they do now. Oh my god, that's how we did it.
徹底的にイレギュラーを排除する。世間はギリシャ神話になぞらえ、ここをタルタロスと呼ぶ。奈落を表す神の名だよ。さすがの僕も神への反逆となると一苦労するだろう。いいや、出られないんだよ。
Look, I know it breaks some human rights laws, but genuinely, when a quirk like this exists, just kill him. Genuinely, just kill him. With how many he's killed in his life, how has he not gotten a lethal injection yet? Honestly, this is on you guys.
規定にのっとり収容者が扉から一歩でも出たら発砲を許可する電撃銃を携行制圧部隊の援護
Too late. Hey, Muscular, let's go! I was just talking about him. Oh shit! And that's someone Deku's got beef with.
そんなんじゃ死なねえな教えろよ楽園の入り口はどこだ
The entrance to paradise. You might have superpowers, but we've got guns, bitch. Oh yeah! Oh my god, that tooth guy! I forgot about him. Oh. Oh damn, he hit everyone. Stain. Stain. I didn't think about Stain. I didn't think they'd put him in Tartarus. But fair enough. I thought Tartarus was like the biggest place to go. Who the fuck? Alright, so someone didn't get out. Overhaul! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Admittedly, he's no threat right now, but the fact they're bringing up Overhaul and Stain is insane. Kind of. Shigaraki and All for One. This is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. I love his support system still working though. Well, regardless of if Shigaraki wanted it, his sensei's out now. We need to get you a new helmet, man. You just look so stupid. Cities burned, crumbled. The destruction was on a magnitude never before seen in Japan. Yep.
ニアハイエンドとタルタロス脱獄者によって7カ所の刑務所が襲撃され、うち6カ所
Oh wow, they just erased
多くの
everyone.
受刑者たちが放たれた。
Did they get the Namu? Did they get the first Namu?
劇的な一日だった。暴れたい人間に暴れさせ、僕への追求をかく乱してもらうため、受刑者たちを解放した。君たちには悪いが、僕が休む間、この体を守ってほしい。
Sure. Why not?
意外と話し合うんだよ。ゲームとか。
Wow. I wanted to game with you, man.
偽物のヒーローがはびこる社会を正す。ステインの思想に共感して。
I mean, hey, they broke Stain out as well.
ヒーロー社会をぶっ潰すって威勢だけは良かったが、連合の中身はグダグダ。コソ泥と大差でだらけっぷり。俺と同じだ。けどな、こんな空っぽな俺に火をつけてくれた。
じゃあもう壊そう。一旦全部。
死柄木が作る未来を見たいと、そう思ったんだ。お前誰だよ。俺がついていくのはお前じゃない。俺がついていくのは死柄木弔だ。
Loyalty, man. All for one can respect that.
安心したまえ、井口君。僕は弔の思いを何より尊重している。
Those eyes.
体を休ませ完成させる。完成した時。
He really has a way of finishing the body off, huh?
ワン・フォー・オールを手に入れ、世界に君臨するのだ。絶対的存在、魔王として。
My god. Just 2 days later. What can you do in 2 days? Had a good rest? Because it's the last one you're probably ever gonna have. Oh no. Why you of all people? You random extras?
セントラル病院、最先端最高峰の治療を受けられる病院だよ。
Since when have you cared about Bakugo?
ベクと轟は先生、先輩はエンデバーは事態は
It's good to know he's so concerned about everyone else.
話すから落ち着いて聞いてくれ。
You're asking a lot there from Bakugo. Ooh.
戸籍からも追えないように細工した。小太郎の存在に気づけば奴は必ず利用する。私に子供はいなかった。いなかったんだ、空彦。
And now that grandson is laying waste to all out there.
日村。
グラントリノもそうだけど、あなたもあと少し遅れていたらもっとひどいことになってた。ロックたちがあなた方の命を優先した結果です。今は余計なことは考えず、治療に専念してください。
Yeah, he took some damage.
死柄木を逃がしたせいで、6カ所の刑務所から。
Including the main one.
あちこちで脱獄絡みの事件が起こってやがる。世間からの風当たりも相当なもんだぜ。ったく。俺らはやった。そりゃもう必死にやったさ。命を懸けて戦った。その結果がこれかよ。加山先輩までなんで。
言うな山
Oh
田。
yeah, did they actually get him out?
それより生徒たちは。
Kirigiri, I mean. Their portal boy.
めちゃくちゃ人集まってんな。つっても
応援してくれてるわけじゃなさそうね。
脱獄関係の事件、ニュースサイトにひっきりなしに上がってる。みんな不安なんだよ。
無念。
Tax thief!
気にすんな。
大丈夫だかね。轟さんのこと私たちは見てましたもの。大丈夫です。
Yeah. I can't imagine what he's going through right now. His family complications genuinely just never stop. Ever.
"ひでえな。そんな名前で呼ばないでよ。トウヤって立派な名前があるんだから。
Toya.
さあ一緒に落ちよう、轟園児。地獄で俺と踊ろうぜ。
あいつの炎は親父よりも強かった。
It's kind of the point.
火力で勝てなかった。強い憎しみの炎だった。あいつはずっと見てたんだ。親父を貶めるためだけにその身を滅ぼしながらあらゆる人の人生を巻き込んで。あいつは俺だ。俺がお前に突っかかんのは見返すためだ。クソ親父の個性なんざなくたって。いや、
you two took
使わず一番になることで
different routes, but you know,
完全否定する。
Toya used those flames to become far worse.
この身を焼いたんだ。親父じゃやれねえ。トヤには俺がやらなきゃ。
And I'm excited for that. Family.
お姉さん、轟さん、喉がやけどしていてまだ声が。大丈夫よ。ショートの病状はさっき先生から伺ったから。
喋んなくていいからな、ショート。それから
Mama came. Mummy. Oh my god. He wants to see his people. He wants to see Deku. And probably everyone. He's become a decent person. Not a good one, but he's become a decent person.
轟は大やけど、相沢先生もかなりの重傷を負ったけど、命に別状はない。他のみんなも意識を取り戻したんだけど。
Yeesh, you weren't in the arc at all.
緑谷だけ一向に起きる気配がないって。
Honestly.
死んだら殺す。
Honestly, for him, like, Eri genuinely might be the only solution. And I really don't want them just to, like, have Eri as, like, a, you know, as just, like, the shoulder everyone has to lean on now, because, you know, you're at a point where, with what they've done with Miro, the fact that he's got his quirk back, they have to acknowledge now Eri. They can't just... Like, they really can't just have injuries like this, especially fatal ones like with Deku, and then just act like they're a problem when Eri's, like, done that now. They've opened that floodgate, and they can't ignore it. And if they do ignore it, that's just bad writing. But, wow. Yeah. God. I don't even know. Like, you know... Like, this was meant to be, like, the biggest arc in My Hero, right? And it was. You know, for now, it definitely was the biggest arc in My Hero Academia. But they somehow have elevated it even more within a singular episode. We get the aftermath, you know, and the effects of everything in episode 14. And then we just fucking exponentially increase the threat level to ridiculous degrees in episode 15. What the fuck? Tartarus is destroyed. All for One is out. Stain is out. Overhaul is out. Like, what the fuck? What the actual hell? And Shigaraki, All For One has a plan and a method to complete Shigaraki's body already so that it's, like, more compatible with the quirks. So, like, bro, what are we meant to do? I apologize for that. What are we actually meant to do anymore in this? I mean, you know, like I said, we got a good half season left, but, like, oh my god, that's like not that's like not even enough. I don't know. Genuinely, I have no fucking idea how we actually how we actually do this, you know? Yeah, we've kind of reached a point to where, like, I don't feel like we're even well equipped to win anymore, you know? Like I said, all of our, like, main heroes have taken such exponential damage, such, like, mental fatigue, you know, from Shoto's perspective, that, like, I just don't know. I don't know how we actually, like, continue this, you know? I kind of get it that, like, All For One's not going to make a big move right now because he does have his own body to take care of. He has, Shigaraki's body to complete, all that good stuff. But I'm really curious, right? Because it's possible that Shigaraki will rebel against All For One since he doesn't want to be a carbon copy of him. He doesn't appreciate the fact that, like, All For One's in his own head. But even at the same time, it's like, that doesn't bode well for anyone else, you know? Whether it be a battle between a hero and a villain or a battle of villains, like, you know, destruction always follows that path. And I'm really curious now because, like, the runtime's going to be very curious in how it's going to be altered now, you know? Switching between, like, having two main villains is going to be really interesting. And obviously, since you've got Deku, who can't move currently, I don't know how we're going to do that, especially. I think right now, my big question is just, like, how does this show keep going? Genuinely. Because with 2 more seasons on the way, and about 60 episodes, you know, around now for My Hero's conclusion, I just don't know how this show continues to go at the length it does, because, you know, with All For One out, it kind of feels like we've done everything for the build-up. It kind of feels like the setup for this is done, and all we have left is just, you know, the big battle. Like, I know All For One has the plans to fix up Shigaraki and, like, fix his body, but, like, you know, how do you keep this going? Because I don't see a way we turn any arcs different from this, you know. This feels like it has to mostly be centralized around the League of Villains and All For One at this point. So I'm really curious to see where we actually go with this, right? But I'm really curious because, like, yeah, we have a good half of the season left to go, about, you know, 10 episodes, 9 episodes around there, to do this. And like I said, it's just, I don't know, you know, we're in recovery right now, admittedly, but I really doubt it'll last that long because, yeah, All For One's out and he's going to be making big moves now, so it's really curious. But yeah, you know, guys, let's just go into episode 16 and see where we go from this. Alright guys, episode 16. Let's see how we do this. Yep. He's speaking facts. He is speaking facts. Everyone's bad.
相沢先生もかなりの重傷を負ったけど、命に別状はない。他のみんなも意識を取り戻したんだけど、緑谷だけ一向に起きる気配がないって。
Bro's going through those big internal struggles. If he dies, I'll kill him. What a great line. What a Bakugo line. Alright. There we go. Hawks, eh? He's up now? Jesus Christ, society is just burning. Oh, okay, no, another flashback. Of course. This infamous scene. God damn. I don't know if it's been said, but, like, genuinely, how old is All Might? I didn't imagine Endeavor would be that much older than Hawks, really. But apparently he is. You lost because you came up against me. Also, just like Hawk's attention now out of nowhere.
現実とは違う架空の夢のような存在だと思ってた。
街にナンバしに行った。バレンと思った。
This also just feels like very strangely like placed now.
俺ば売りに行ったか。誰に言った。バレンと思ったか。
羽がビリビリして街で何かあったと思って。でも収まったけん途中で帰ったったい。誰にも見られとらん。
嘘をつくな。人と関わるな。家を出るな。
Damn, they really did live in shit.
テレビつかん。
あ？知らねえよ。
ねえ、逃げんでね。
はよ次の仕事ば探してこんか。
父は昔はした金欲しさに人を殺したそうだ。その逃走中。
Oh my god, the implications of that alone.
背中向けるな。言うたのが何度目や。
ごめんなさい。
富江の個性に頼ったんがいかんかった。いや違う。富江がこいつを生まなきゃ。こいつが生まれなけりゃ。俺はまだ自由やった。
ねえ、逃げんでね。
父も母もぶっ壊れてたから、こうはならないとじっと耐えていた。
You won?
耐え続ければ、
You broke the
時が
cycle
経てば。
In that disgusting just world of filth.
あの人、捕まって
You're
しまっ
free!
た。どうしよう、敬語。クラマが盗んで逃げて。
What on earth?
そんで
What are those
捕まっ
eyes?
ちゃったって。エンデバーに。エンデバー。
瞬間、夢
Or
は
became a symbol for you.
テ
Ah!
レビの中にしかいなかった
And of the old Endeavor as well, which is just funny.
ヒーローは実在した。
逃げんと警察が来る。捕まってしまう。
衝撃もつかの間、父をかくまっていた罰を恐れ、母は俺の手を引き、その日のうちに家を出た。けれどこの母に生活能力があるはずもなく。
警察行こう。
俺は正しくあろうとした。
まあ
ヒーゴ、何でもいいけん明かり持ってきて。あの人の子やろ。何のために生まれてきたと。何のためにその羽がついとると。はよ。
強欲を使えば母の
That would have ruined you for good.
叶えられる。けれど
Asking the impossible, putting the burden of your choices on your child.
富江さんとご子息の圭吾くんですね。この子には天賦の才があります。ヒーローになるべき人間です。先ほどお話しした提案を受け入れてもらえるのなら、今後ご家族ごとこちらで全面支援させていただきます。
ご家族、他に俺ごと見えますか。
ええ、ですから全面支援とは高見との関わりを
Sounds like a bargain, honestly.
新たな人生を歩んでいただくものでございます。圭吾君、この名前とは今日限りでさよならだ。
There'll be some shady shit though, just erasing the kid's name
特
and
別な
whatnot.
ヒーローとなるための専用プログラムをこなしてもらう。厳しい訓練になるけど大丈夫かい。
俺もこの人みたく悪い奴をやっつけるヒーローになれますか。俺を救ってくれたみた
Curious if
く
we'll ever see that, Daddy.
みんなを明るく照らせますか。
ホークス。
よかった。
Oh, yippee! I live. What a nice car.
もうじき着くぞ。
すんません。俺だけ解任して。
まったくだ。セントラルの医療技術がなければ、お前はまだ死の淵をさまよっていたし、ノームから着想を得た仮死状態にする手術など、私は受けなかった。おかげで今も体はボロボロ。ダメージデニムのようにな。
So that's how they did it, huh? You didn't duke Darby ever, but, you know, was enough to convince the others.
ノームを作れる奴が裏に潜んでたんで。手術は成功。仮死状態のあなたをダビに届けた。奴は遺体の鑑定も求めてきましたが、本物ですから何事もなくパス。ダビはあなたの死を信じ込み、そして遺体の共有保管を提案してきた。効果的な場面で遺体を使うべきだと。
That is just insane. Oh my god, what the
あなたの
hell?
体は奴らの息のかかった施設で保存された。まあこちらの効果的な
What on earth was this operation? Like, holy god.
捕まってろ。
なおさか。
ほつれが見えた。
Gluten god. Yeah. No. Won't even need a fucking quirk for this one. Let's just take these guys down with a car. Sometimes you really just don't think things. Our gluten is free!
警察と管轄のヒーローは
来ないよ。警察は刑務所から脱獄したヴィランたちの件で手一杯。
It's like no one here.
政権から批判の的にされるや否や。
Resources are spread way too thin.
とんずらこいちまった。ヒーローなんかいなくても。
わかりました。では、
Nice.
私のサイドキックを配置しよう。ここもか。
ヒーローへの不信が。
I mean, you know, you can't really blame them after what, you know, Darby did.
どれだ？
あの奥です。回復して表に出る前に確認しなきゃいけない。
夜逃げか。
警護へごめんなさい。
ああ。
家に怖い男の人たちが入ってきて家族のことを教えろと脅されて。
Oh dear.
警護とあなたのお父さんのことを話してしまいました。本当にごめんなさい。迷惑をかけたくないので家を出ます。元気でいてください。
Aww. Well, you didn't seem like a completely awful person, I guess. Just a bad circumstance.
ダビが人を使ったのか。まさかここまでたどり着くとは。やっぱ漏れるとしたら母さんだよな。
それはきついな。まるでスキニージーンズのようだ。
いえ、高みの抹消は俺と母の関係が消えるということです。それでいいと思ったんです。
This voice, though, like, honestly.
人を助けたいってやつがですよ。
俺を救ってくれたみたい。
Well, yeah, you did rise up the ranks.
明るく照らせますか。
自分のやったことが
You did it for a time, and that's what's most important.
むしろスッキリすわ。そんなこと言える状況じゃないけど。公安は現在実質機能停止。俺に指示を出す人がもういない。縛るもんが
No mother, no safety commission. You can just spread your wings in freedom from now on.
人には内緒よ。
母がそこに連れてってくれたのは、外に出たいとうるさい俺を黙らせるためだった。
Fair
こっち
enough.
でいいやろ。オールマイトは高かし。
I'm surprised you didn't just steal it.
あんたもこん人ごと強くなんな。
でもそれは
ジーニストさん、追い詰められた時、自由を得た時って人の差が現れますよね。だからブバイガーラはいいやつでした。善悪はともかく
He really didn't deserve to die in the end. Which is even more tragic on when he did die, man.
そうありたい。
何のためにその羽がついてると。
俺は
正しくありたい。ダビの語った轟家の話が本当だ
Oh
と
yeah.
しても
Endeavor's genuinely changed, and I think anyone who spent any time with him can see that.
してどう動く？片付けなきゃいけないことが死ぬほどあります。まず俺の原点からエンデバーさんが
Oh yeah. Big time.
困ってる。
都市部はパニックに陥っていた。
Looters would take over absolutely everything. A state where no enforcement is around.
大量の凶悪ヴィランが解き放たれるという未曾有の事態に加え、ノームの存在が決定だとなった。以前、俺がエンデバーさんに語った噂話。
Bring that one
全
back.
国に広がる
Come
真
on.
偽不明の
You can't tell me All for One's not going to want that prize back.
人ならざる
His
不気味な
ultimate
存在は
Namu.
遊泳高校に現れて以来、深層下で人々の心を蝕み続けていた。噂の浸透は人々の抱く情勢不安の表れであり、溜まり続けたフラストレーションが度重なるヒーローたちの失態、凶悪なヴィランたちの脱獄を経て、今回ついに決壊したのだ。
Yeah, not quite, bro. Cider house? What? Oh dear. That could be a problem. And people are revolting because they can't stand villains just taking over. Oh my god, wash. Bro, you are a fucking washing machine. What are you meant to do?
So, 種はすでにまかれていた。
Taking action into their own hands.
自衛の手段を
You
求
just
め
get
た
a lawless society.
それらはもう市場に出回っていた。
You don't know how to hold back.
対ヴィラン戦闘訓練を受けていない一般市民の武装戦闘。
When people with superpowers just start fighting like out of nowhere, death follows.
あれからわずか2日の間に、
こう
した事件が全国で頻発していた。
巻き込まれた。外出もできないから家でおとなしくしてたんだ。なあウォッシュ、何してたんだよ。
怪我人を消毒して病院にして。
ヒーローが減っていた。
こたびの被害、腹を切るより他あるまい。
ほどほどの活躍とほどほどの名声。若かりし頃の活躍を貯金に現役を続けていた少年男性。
Oh, a number. Oh shit! And we lose the top 10.
引退表明。
今やめてどうすんだよ。クソじじい、ファンだったのに。
Oh my god. Like, bro, you're adding this on top of All for One escaping prison. Like, Oh, we are so fucked! Just have this series end with the villains winning, like, honestly, I am nowhere. Aizawa. No, Stain. Oh my god, Stain! 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 Oh no! And he's gonna continue his work, I guess.
この男一人の肩に乗せる。ショート君たちはとりあえず大丈夫です。
So narrowly.
あなたもなんとか一命を取り留めた。エンデバーさん。
Aww.
私は応援しています。
At this point, even a single supporter would mean a lot. Especially one who's taking care of you.
息ができる。頭が霞みがかっている。麻酔がまだ効いている。
For now.
俺は
That face! There is so much in that face alone. He doesn't want to see you die, he wants to see your name crumble and be burned and forgotten to time and then die. There are things worse than death, you know.
動けなかった。あの時と同じ。息子の危機を前に、俺は。
The day that we get our rematch. Like, I know Shoto's like... I know Shoto wants it to be just him and Darby, but I don't know, man. I feel like we are going to get a rematch of these two one day, and it's going to be glorious.
ほどなくして見限られ、捨てられ、忘れられました。
帰ってきただけだ。俺が
Yep.
かつてしてきたことが全部。俺自身は生き延びても。
Oh!
エンデバーは死んだ。
And you cannot let your other son
戦えない。
fight as well. That's a very different kind of Shoto scream. I know they're not heroes, but you can imagine all three of them fighting Darby.
お前たち無事か。
何泣いてんだよ。
本当にすまない。遅すぎたんだ。後悔が。
Yep.
罪悪感が今になって。心がもう。
Oh my god, she did come. First time you stepped out of that room.
レイ、なぜここに？
話をしに来たの。うちのこと。
The broken member of the family. The Hellish Todoroki family is a great name. Oh my god, yes. The first time that she's walked out of that mental hospital, and you know, I imagine she's gonna have some choice words, you know, to her husband, you know, to the father of her children. A man who has spent a number of episodes and time now trying to make amends at this point, but with one loose end that will literally never heal. Like, I don't see a redemption arc in the way for Toya. I just don't. I know he suffered, and I know that he has every right to be this furious with Endeavor, but I don't really see a redemption in mind for him, which definitely does make things more complicated, you know. Shoto's determined to fight him on his own, and obviously Endeavor has no will to fight him, but at the same time, I really doubt that he is willing to let Shoto fight him, so we'll see. We'll see what's going to come of that. But no, this episode was great. Genuinely now, we're really taking the time to just let loose. We're taking the time to just really impact how much, or just show the impact of how much society is crumbling now from the first arc, you know. The Paranormal Liberation Front left scars in Japan that genuinely will probably not heal ever, if I'm being honest, you know. I don't know if it's... I really don't know if it is possible for Endeavor to actually redeem himself in the eyes of the public, you know. Despair, chaos, uncertainty is all that's really showing in this series right now. Even without, you know, like, All for One. That is kind of the weird thing that is leaving the villains kind of out of this at the moment, is that the villains aren't really needed right now. You know, All for One, Shigaraki, the impact they've left on society is incredible, genuinely. To the point to where anarchy, you know, vigilantism, all of it is just coming out, you know, like, civilians are raiding houses, they're raiding stores, civilians obviously being sick of not having any heroes to support them or any authority are taking things into their own hands. Obviously, with everyone having a quirk and superpower, there's going to be bloodshed on both sides, and so society in Japan is just crumbling, you know. The flames of revolution, the flames of doubt, it's all coming up on the surface, and as a result, there's really not too much anyone can do. I mean, our number one hero was humiliated, you know, the whole Todoroki family drama was outed, you know, from everyone here, in front of everyone by Toya, and so there's just nothing to do about it, you know, like, there really isn't a way of really redeeming that. So, I don't know. I can't say his hatred isn't justified, but I'm just so curious, and I'm curious now if just the rest of this arc might not necessarily be like All for One making its move. It's just the heroes trying to fix what has been done. It's just them trying to gain the confidence of the public back, just to build up something new from the destruction that Shigaraki left in their wake, you know. And I feel like there is probably enough of that here to actually, you know, use for the rest of the season, but I don't know. You know, I really don't know. So I'm very curious to see how we're going to do this. But, you know, in general, it's genuinely worrying. It is, you know, because we've seen Stain is back now. He might continue on with his goal of just taking out fake heroes, you know. Pro heroes are leaving, you know, the profession after the amount of destruction and trauma that they faced. Our main heroes, our main characters aren't really up right now either. To really, you know, get in action. Deku's basically in a coma, you know, and no one else can really fight at this point, so it's not good. It's definitely not good, and I'm really just curious how we're going to find a solution to this, right? Like, are we going to find a way to get the public side back on the side of the heroes before we go into the action again? Or are we just kind of done at this point, and we have to take out the villains while trying to build up the society's or the public's confidence in the hero society? I'm really curious about that. But yeah, guys, episode 17, let's do it. All right, guys, episode 17, let's go.
Yeah. 次期ナンバーワンの呼び声高いエンデバー様からお声掛けいただけるとは夢にも思いませんでした。行幸の極みにございます。日村もかつては
Oh my god. Oh, the tie is kind of cringe but fitting.
トップヒーロー様の伴侶としましては十分に釣り合いが取れるものと考えております。
This is how it happened, huh?
氷のような女だった。一応見合いという形をとってはいるが、これは個性婚。
Yep.
自身の個性をより強化して継がせるために配偶者を選び、
His dream.
子供を産ませるための結婚。俺は望んだのだ。俺の炎の個性。
He looks so dead there.
日村家
To be
一
fair,
族
they
の
both
氷の
do.
個性が交われば、オールマイトをも超えるヒーローが生み出せると。
No.
かつては名家だった日村家も、今は青息吐息。ナンバー2ヒーローの地位と名誉。 そして持参金目当てに日村家の当主は俺の提案をあっさりと受け入れた。
And she didn't say a thing. No joy.
断ることもできた。
No resistment. Just
だが
nothing.
彼女は個性婚であることも承知の上で家のために俺の妻になるという。
Yes. Aw, that's the only time she smiled.
強く。しかし、触れれば溶けて消えてしまいそうな。
Those very same ones. How this man has changed from then to before to now. I mean, he is in excruciating pain. Sure. I don't imagine we'll ever get it, but I would be very curious to see Darby interact with his mum and see what he thinks of her. I doubt he'd want to kill her, but he genuinely might just to get to Endeavor more. Dude is on such a high right now.
早く惨めな面が見て楽しみだ。ここまで長かった。轟園児、お母さん、冬美ちゃん、夏くん、ショート。俺を見てくれ。地獄の底で。
The wrong way to put out a fight. Are you crying blood? The fuck?
せっかく休みなんだから個性訓練付き合ってよ。なんで急にダメとか言うんだよ。
何度も言ったろう。お前のためなんだ。
Dude, like, Toya was unironically, like, in personality, he was honestly his dream. He wanted quirk training, he wanted to be stronger, he wanted to surpass his dad. He actually wanted, like, his dad's dream too.
つまり、炎の耐性よりも氷結、寒さに適性のある体なんです。
Damn.
まあ、デザインじみたことはね、この個性時代、
So we got, like, perfect resistance to ice and none to fire. Wow. Oh yeah.
トウヤ、お前ならオールマイトを超えられる。俺より強い炎を持つお前なら。
I wonder if All for One could, like, give him a quirk that's literally just resistant to fire. I know it won't happen, but maybe.
ゆみちゃん、なんで個性訓練しちゃダメなんだよ。さあ、ちょっとやけどするくらいなのにさ。
It's interesting that his hair's changing color as well.
俺の体のことは俺が一番よくわかってるんだ。でも冬美もトヤにボロボロなの心配。いや、冬美ちゃんにはわかんねえよ。女の子にはわかんねえんだ。
Even back then, she was looking out for her siblings.
俺は決
What
め
a
てんだ。
precious child.
俺はもう超えたいって思ってるんだ。火をつけたのはお父さんだ。
God damn it, he's like the kid who really embraced that dream, which makes it even worse.
残酷じゃない。あなたが子供に何を求めてるか、トウヤはもう知ってる。
どれだけ言っても毎日新しいやけどを作ってくる。バカなところも俺に似た。諦めさせるにはそれしかない。トウヤには超えられない。
No, he cannot. This poor child. Jesus! This poor child's life has been nothing but tragedy since day one. It's a very detailed nose. And every day, he got worse, angrier. The sad thing is he just wasn't like that at the start. But Ray kept doing her job, kept providing food for the family and meals, regardless of everything. And this girl's tapped out now.
父さん、俺も超えられるよ。ほら、こんなに強い炎が出せるようになったんだ。ずっと練習してたんだ。俺はできるよ。俺は超えられる。だから、俺のこと見てよ。
God.
ダメだ。なぜわからん。そこまでのやけどを負ってなぜわからないんだ。トウヤ、お前は外を見ろ。冬美や夏男と遊べ。学校で友達を作れ。ヒーロー以外にもたくさんの世界がある。わかるだろう。そうして
Like, it's genuinely conflicting because he still cared about him. Like, even as Endeavor's lose. Jesus. Even as he's going over the deep end and losing it, Endeavor still didn't want Tomura to hurt himself. He still tried to be somewhat of a care father. He turned his hands aflame. He turned his hair aflame. God damn. That face on Todoroki, that was pretty good. Well, don't blame the other two. Look at this woman, man. She is broken. There is no hope for him. I'm sorry, but there's just no hope for Toya. You really didn't have to separate him from Natsu and his sister either.
そりゃあの時は俺が悪かったよ。ショートに罪はなかったもの。でもお父さんも悪かったんだよ。俺たちは失敗作だから相手にされない。すごいよな。いらない子を作って。これが現代のヒーロー。 Poor dude just wants his sleep.
もう何度も聞いたってば。たまには姉ちゃんとこで行ったら。
夏くんまで俺をたしなめるのか。やめてくれ。夏くんしか理解できないから話してるのに。わかるだろ。うちの女はみんなダメダメなんだ。
No.
待って。またお山に行く気でしょ。たまにはクラスメイトと遊んでみたり。
友達なんかいらない。世界が違う。
トウヤ、お前本当にヒーローになりたいの？お母さんにはお父さんに縛られて苦しんでるように見える。トウヤ、世界はたくさんあって選択肢は無数にあるの。
Not to him, he doesn't.
もっと外を見て、その中で本当になりたい自分を見つけて。
No.
お母さんが何をしてんだよ。
Things are drowning out more and more.
啓発本でも読んだのかよ。おばあちゃんたちが貧乏してたからお母さんを。
Jesus Christ!
お母さんはそうするしかなかったんだろう。
And to say those things about having choices when you didn't.
お母さんも加担してんだよ。
Oh my god. What a bitch. It only grows stronger until it turned blue.
体の変化とともにその炎は赤から青へと色を変えていた。
They evolved.
そうか、身体機能だもんな。感情の高ぶりが火力に直結するんだ。すごいぞ俺。これならお父さんもきっとびっくりするぞ。あ、でもくっそ、高ぶるとなんだって涙が出ちゃうんだろう。
Are they gonna show him getting those disgusting scars he has today?
今度の休み、セコト岳に来てよ。
Yeah.
やけど周囲から見られない箇所での訓練。トウヤ、お前まだ。
すごいことになったんだ。必ず来て。ショートにだって到達できるかどうか。
God damn it.
オールマイトにも負けないかもね。お父さんもきっと認めざるを得なくなるからさ。
He's gonna hit him,
俺を
right?
作ってよかったって思うから。
Yeah.
なぜトウヤを止めなかったね。頼んだはずだ。
Oh no.
やめて。いじめないで。
ショートは出ていろ。関係ない話だ。
お母さんが何を知ってんだよ。
選択肢は限られていたけれど、選んで進んだのは私の足で。せめてその先では笑っていようと思っていたのに。
You thought maybe there would be some normalcy in this.
私じゃ止められない。
The faces, beautiful. This season has genuinely been peak from a face perspective. You do it.
今何が見えてるの？その目を
A monster was brewing, man, as his rage kept going.
やめて。その目を。
And then she went insane.
私は病院に隔離され、そこでトウヤのことを聞いた。そして完全に心が壊れてしまった。
Makes sense.
出るな。涙なんか。
あなたは瀬古戸岳に行かなかった。
俺が行けばあの子の感情に薪をくべてしまうだけだと。いや、なんと声をかけたらいいのか。
Yeah.
わからなかったんだ。
For sure.
お父さん。私もそうだった。
So dude, his body basically became fire in every way you can even describe it without killing him. He literally cried flames.
まあ、自業自得だよな。火力の上げ方しか教えてくれなかったもんな。
Man, it's such a shame you don't have the ability to like absorb flames or anything. That would really help.
トウヤを殺してしまったことで後に引けなくなっていた。
Might have been an interesting payoff actually. Like he isn't resistant much to flame, but he could absorb natural fire or other quirk flames.
子供たちにまであなたの面影を見るようになってしまった。壊れているのを知りながら。
Oh, all of them. Oh.
上っ面で作ろうことしか。
Like the whole family is just beating on him.
全部あんたが始めたことで、あんたが原因。
Rightfully so.
でも、俺がぶん殴ってトウヤ兄と向かい合わせてやれてたら、ダビは生まれてなくて、ショートに盛りそばをご馳走してやれたかもしれない。
責任はあなただけのものじゃない。心が砕けても私たちが立たせます。
Damn.
あなたはダビと戦うしかないの。
お前、本当に霊か。
私たちよりよっぽど辛いはずの子が恨んで当然の私を再びお母さんと呼んでくれた。遊泳高校でお友達を作って She's
watched her children become stronger, man, and wants that strength for herself too. One eye of each of them. Half hot, half cold.
お母さんと話した。お前がもう戦えねえと思って。俺がやるしかねえって思ってた。でも違う見てた。
Alright, fair enough.
泣き終わったら立てよ。みんなでトウヤにのために。
Yeah. From Shota of all people extending that hand is crazy. It's crazy.
すみません。話立ち聞きしちゃいました。
Who the fuck?
この家族旅行、俺らもご一緒してよろしいですかね。
Oh my god, really?
ベストジーニスト。
Bro, mind your business.
俺は昨日すでに退院していろいろと情報を集めていたんですけど。
うちの息子が申し訳ありませんでした。
Go, it's fine.
そういうつもりで出てきたんじゃないんで、やめてください、奥さん。
ダビについて伺い
Poor guy with his text-to-speech
盗み劇は違法デニムでした。
machine.
違法デニムと。
遠佐の原点は捜査の手がかりになります。その後のどう生き延びどうやってダビへと変貌を遂げたかは本人に直接聞くとしましょう。
俺、あなたの昔の映像とかよく見てましたけど、若い頃の執念がまさかこんな形で肥大していたとはショックですね。トウヤ君のお話ってことで出てきませんでしたが、ショート君のやけど、これもエンデバーさん？
近い。
私です。恨んで当然の私を再びお母さんと呼んでくれた。
That's what I was referring to.
そっか。
俺はあの人たちに向き合えなかった。諦めて見限った。
ショート君、君はかっこいいな。エンデバーさん、外は今地獄です。シガラキ、ダビ、トガヒミコ。
Yep. Oh, much more than that now. A lot more. It's way worse than that.
7匹のノーム、ニアハイエンド、すべて行方不明。 さらにタルタロスほか6カ所の刑務所が破られ、
And it doesn't take a genius to know one of those villains that escaped.
放たれました。
10,000 prisoners. Look, man, we're trying not to be too pessimistic right now, and you're not. You are not helping one bit. We're fucked. We know it.
被害が被害を呼ぶような状況。現在政府は各国へ救助隊、ヒーローの要請をしていますが、公安の停止によりヒーローの派遣手続きが滞っています。これがわずか2日間で起きています。奥さんのおっしゃった通り、あなたは戦う他に道はありません。そして俺たちもです。こたびの責任はナンバーワンだけのものじゃない。ご家庭だけで占有しないでいただきたい。
なぜ？何を？
ダビの語った轟家の話が本当だとしても、きっと今は違う。正しくあろうとする人は
They're getting there. They have improved at least, but you know, there's still baggage.
ここからはトップ3のチームアップです。
私は元よりホークスに命をベットした身。
A team up of the top 3, baby.
なら歩き慣れている。
ほら。
Who isn't in this show? You're not unique.
少しは肩も軽くなって立って歩ける気しません。
東屋に止めるまでだから。
Damn. Of course, Natsu had to say that.
早速ですが、まず皆様への説明責任。ダビの告発を受けた以上、避けて通れません。ざっくりと答弁内容を考えたんすけど、一つ不明瞭な要素が。ワン・フォー・オールって何なんですかね？
Oof. Why did you have to bring that up of all things, man?
シガラキとの戦闘時、エンデバーがつぶやいたというワン・フォー・オールとは何か。
Is this quirk coming to the public? Yeah, kinda.
ワン・フォー・オール。我々はそれの正体を知らなきゃいけません。
Yeah. Because they don't know what it is, do they? But they know who it might be about. Yep. Oh my god, are they all gonna learn about One for All right now? There's no way you have to make a public statement about it, right? Get fucked, Bakugo.
あの怪我を見た時は嫌な想像をしてしまったが、
むしろ前よりうるさくなっとる。
Come on, you know his personality.
雷ももう退院できるってさ。
そうか、それは良かった。
うららか、緑や体は無事なんだよね。
No.
そう聞いてる。
Have you seen what he did to himself? I would not classify that as fine.
大爆殺神ダイナマイト。
We're really calling him that.
緑や伊豆くんと話したいんだけど。
今はオールマイトが2人きりにしてくれと。
Yeah.
オールマイトが。
That's more suspicious.
緑谷君がシガラキに狙われていると言った。そこにオールマイトとは。
Something's not adding up.
ワン・フォー・オールとはなんだ？
緑谷少年。
It's wild of all people it was Toya that brought that to their attention.
ワン・フォー・オールの中の私よ。君は今先代たちと話しているんだね。
Really? Alright. Oh, man. Alright, so he's having a little talk with the previous users. That's crazy. Like, really? Is One for All gonna just be, like, outed? I doubt it's gonna be outed publicly. They'll make up some bullshit to tell the public. But, like, how many people here are gonna learn about One for All? You know, the Endeavors, obviously Hawks, Best Genist, potentially even the UA kids themselves. I mean, like, yeah. This quirk is mental, you know. And it definitely would make sense if, you know, not all for ones out there, you know, it makes sense for them to learn about One for All at some point. And, you know, I don't think I ever doubted it would happen at some point. But the fact we're actually at that point is still really cool. Because, yeah, even at this point, it's literally only Bakugo that's learned about One for All. And that's pretty crazy. So that's exciting for next episode. But, yeah, you know, we've had so much, like, time spent on the Todoroki family. you know, there's not too much more to say about it, I think, because we've gotten it gradually, you know, thrown out there throughout all the seasons at this point. We've had pretty much the entire story, and I think the only thing we didn't really know too much about is just how dedicated Toya was to the job, you know. How dedicated Toya was to becoming everything that his dad envisioned. Literally got the personality that Endeavor always envisioned of his future child having, to take on or to surpass All Might, I would say. And unfortunately, it just ended up in, like, the absolute worst candidate of all time. Like, genuinely. Like, Toya, you know, had incredible flames, gifted with flame power beyond Endeavor's limit. But at the same time, he gained, like, every wrong resistance. He gained like a resistance to ice and nothing else. No resistance to fire whatsoever. So he got the worst combination of powers you could even imagine from those two. That sucks. That is very much unfortunate, you know. And obviously, it is a bit like, in a very different scenario, it is very much like Deku. It was the dreams that he had on himself, the kind of expectations that Toya had on himself, that came from both his dad and All Might's influence, that in the end just were not able to ever be reached. You know, Deku, for very different reasons. Deku never wanted to be the strongest, he just wanted to be a good hero to save people. But the same way, both of their dreams were crushed under them in very different ways, you know, and both had, like, the constant reminder that they could just never reach a point they wanted to for themselves. The only difference is that Toya actually had power, and he actually had power to harm himself in his own ambitions. So it's a lot more destructive, and it makes a lot more sense for why this happened, since, you know, flames, one of, if not the most destructive element out there. And, you know, when you combine that with a child that is just spiraling and spiraling from, you know, his own insecurities, you know, his family telling him that he can't do something, and his endless need to impress his dad and take pride and have his dad be proud of him, it makes sense how these things combinated into becoming the person that Toya did become, which was Dabi, you know, with a personality that is, you know, dark, and a body that's even more dark. Practically charcoal. But no, that was absolutely great. Obviously, it's going to be big, you know, when we finally get that reunion again, when, I guess, Endeavor and Todoroki, I don't know why I'm saying Todoroki, when Endeavor and Shoto end up meeting Dabi again, that is going to be incredible. Potentially even a 2v1. Now, I know Dabi's good, but I don't think he's doing a 2v1. You know, he's not winning a 2v1. But, you know, I'm just... that is so good. Again, I really just love seeing the development of the Todoroki family, how far Endeavor has come, how he really has come to try and make peace with his past self, to make peace with his family. Obviously, he's grown to care about them in a way that goes far beyond his dream, you know? And everyone's evolved from that, you know? Shoto evolved from his friends and social life from UA. Endeavor, you know, from actually gaining the position he always wanted it in a way that he never wanted it, you know, from All Might's retirement, ended up seeing things in a new light, seeing, you know, Shoto for the person he became, and started to regret his actions in the past, including what happened to his poor wife, you know. What I do think is really cool about it, though, is that it wasn't an immediate kind of, it wasn't an immediate plummet for Endeavor. He didn't just have a child with Rei and then, you know, started getting mad, you know, all of the false quirks he was getting from children. He genuinely was trying to protect Toya. He actually did, you know, despite how much he was spiraling from his dream not being realized, he didn't ever want harm to come to any of his children, really. And as, you know, he kept pushing. He kept pushing for Toya to seek a different path in life than a hero, and obviously it just cultivated into Toya going mad. So it is a very unfortunate set of circumstances, but it is nice to see that the entire Todoroki family is willing to help Endeavor shoulder the burden of what's happened in their lives, you know, because it's their personal lives on their own, and, you know, help him through it. And we'll see what comes of that, because, like I said, I'm really curious, right? With how much we're building Dabi at this point, and with how much we have left in the season, I could probably see Dabi being taken out at the end of Season 6, and then, you know, that's one other major character from the League of Villains that is done. And considering, you know, we're getting close, because we only have 2 seasons after this point, I could see us slowly taking down the League in that sense. But, again, I'm not 100% sure on that, but I don't think we'll get all the League villains taken out like at the same time. That seems a little too perfect, but you never know with a shonen series. But yeah, you know, that was incredible. It really is fun because adding Hawks in that, and you get pretty much everyone that was influenced by Endeavor in their lives all together, even though he's not a direct member of the family, obviously, from his backstory in the last episode. He was pretty much the symbol for Hawks. You know, it wasn't All Might, it was Endeavor, and to have him really try and assist them with their own baggage, with Toya and Dabi's connections, it's really cool. And obviously helping out his public image, which is fucked right now. But yeah, absolutely great. And to top it off, we're getting close to the secrets being revealed, to, you know, to All Might and One for All being revealed. And, you know, with the context of what All for One is, I can imagine some people would, you know, make a few accurate guesses on what One for All means, even though we don't have confirmation right now for them. But I don't think it's rocket science at that point. But yeah, either way, that's really cool. Again, for the second half of this season, we're really focusing on certain plot points and developing them a lot, rather than spending a lot of time, you know, with time skips and whatnot. We're kind of taking the breather right now to really focus on the people impacted by the previous arc. So I do like that. And potentially in this one, I imagine with how this is currently being paced, we're probably going to get at least half the episode, if not more, to Deku, you know, chatting up with the previous One for All users. So yeah, I'm curious to see where that goes. But guys, let's do it. Alright guys, episode 18. This should just be called, like, you know, One for All revealed, the secret's out, oh shit, you know, just something along those lines. Let's go.
感じる少年の中のワン・フォー・オールの中の私を君は今 Is
there an All Might already in One for All? Before he died? That'd be so funny, man. I mean, because yeah, once All Might dies, Deku's still gonna be able to talk to him. Oh my god, what the fuck? It's like the council of One for All. What are these guys is on fire? And some are just tsundere in the corner.
いやまあタイミングの問題さ。番長先輩は以前彼とお話ししてましたね。
Got Nana, of course. This guy's design is sick.
また夢の中。
暇を縫うようにしか。Okay. So there we go. Yeah, obviously. No spoilers. We should be one episode away, and then we'll get the intro and the NED.
今はもうその限りじゃない。約4ヶ月ほど前、僕の力がワン・フォー・オールが急速に成長を始めたからだ。
Interesting.
成長に伴い、ワン・フォー・オール内にあった継承者たちの意識は輪郭を帯び、継承者同士でコミュニケーションを取れるようになった。
Interesting.
そして先の戦いで兄さんの力に無理やり引っ張られたことでより君の前に現れやすくなった。
So it's like the second time he's indirectly helped out the enemy.
あ、お口がねえんだっけか。
And he's very, very naked. Oh dear. What the fuck?
言葉を発することができた。口がうっすらと形成されてる。
That is freaky.
話せるようになったさ。
私が話そう。
Hi. Which one are you? That's also a pretty good title, honestly. That is also a good title.
なお、篠森日陰という。
Okay.
先の戦いで君は図らずも私の力を引き出した。
Interesting.
継承者4代目の危険を察知する。
Ah, danger sense is his.
いきなりでびっくりした。
I like how we've now got subtitles for him.
うまいことおっしゃってる。
篠森さんは属性に嫌気がさして仙人みたいな生活してた変人さ。
He's got a sweet scar though.
ひどい時代だった。私以外が変人だったんだ。君は私の去年と死因を聞いてるかね。
I love how they all have They all have their quirks still.
オールマイトの資料には書かれていなかった。というより、途中まで書いて消したような。
死因は老衰だそうだ。
老衰 ?40 で
推定帳なのは、私も万丈も正確な死因など知る由もなく、八木くんが調べて教えてくれたからだ。結論から言うと、ワン・フォー・オールはもはや普通の人間には扱えない。私は八木くんに次いでワン・フォー・オールの保持期間が長い。18年間、オール・フォー・ワンから逃れ、ただひたすらに力を培ってきた。継承した時点で奴に到底及ばないと分かった私は、力を培うターンだと割り切った。そして晩年、体にひびが入った。
That's actually kind of wild. You just devoted your whole life just building up the power for the next user. That is insane.
だが八木くんが私の病歴や検視結果まで調べ上げ、真相が判明した。
Oh, that's Yagi! Okay.
複数個性を内包した力を所持するだけで命を燃やしていたというわけだ。
Oh, we have... Okay. We've heard of that. So because he's quirkless. So it's literally a quirk that's like only compatible with quirkless mainly. I like how it's like he's an incomplete soul.
戦いの中で亡くなったため比較サンプルが自分しかいない。なので篠森君に会って自分になかったものは何か考えた。
A quirk really, because yeah, All for One technically was two quirks merged into one, so it counts as one quirk.
今も存命中の八木君が得た情報はここにいる彼の意識を通じて。
Wouldn't that mean if All for One got it, it'd like kill him almost right away because he's already pretty old?
聞いて確証を得た。個性因子に人の意識が刻まれているという話。ならなぜ因子を持たない八木くんの意識はここにいるのか。我々はずっと歴代の意識がワン・フォー・オールに宿るものだと考えていたが、正確には2代目から7代目の意識はワン・フォー・オールが取り込んだ因子内に宿ったもの。八木くんだけは違う。彼だけがワン・フォー・オールそのものに意識を宿らせていた。生来の個性が入った器では余すことなく享受できず溢れて歪む。4代目が寿命を縮めたように八木くんは40年間ワン・フォー・オールを保持した。空の器にこそワン・フォー・オールは馴染み、
It's compatible with anyone that isn't that's
人から人へ
quirkless.
と引き継がれた力は何の因果か持たざる者が最も進化を引き出せる形となっていたんだ。
Because it came from someone who only had one quirk.
普通の人にはなおさら渡せない。ほら、もう少々できない。
Damn. If that ain't some main character energy right there.
絶滅危惧種の無個性でかつ力を必要とする者が今後現れない限りは、当時は知り得ないことだった。君らの手に渡ったのは運命的だった。もし我々がもっと早く所有者に干渉できるようになっていたなら、辛い思いをした人ももう少し
So if he did give it to Mirio, then he would have just died, like pretty young, because he already had a quirk.
お前が最後の継承者になるかもしれない。
I know, right? 2 seasons, man. 2 seasons, and we gotta deal with 2 All for One users.
そこが
Ridiculous.
本題だ。伊豆君。
The threat has doubled.
信楽戸村を殺せるか。
And kill. That's also another problem is just killing in general.
君、信楽戸村を殺せるか。頼んでいるんじゃない。覚悟の話だ。君はあの子の顔を見て助けを求めているように見えたと、そう思ったろう。私たちは君の気持ちに呼応する。 そういうの分かっちゃうんだよ。
問題は俺たちにはそう見えなかったってことさ。オール・フォー・ワンに侵食されて苦しんでいた様子は分かったさ。だがあれは助けなんか求めちゃいなかった。あんな状況でもあれの目は憎しみしか宿しちゃいなかったさ。
I do kind of agree with them in that sense, to be
そう
honest.
育てられた自由の利かない体となった兄さんはおそらく彼の肉体と精神を乗っ取ろうと画策している。ワン・フォー・オールを手に入れるためにね。
But Shigaraki's not gonna just give in like that. The boys' resolve has been building in this show.
ワン・フォー・オール強奪に手をかけ失敗している。ワン・フォー・オールの原則をねじ伏せるためには強い思い、強い感情でワン・フォー・オールを上回るしかないさ。人一人では抱えきれないほどの思い。おそらく死柄木の強い憎しみを利用しようとしているんさ。
That is ridiculous. Like, what the hell?
その原点はオール・フォー・ワンに屈しないという強い意志だからな。
前提としてワン・フォー・オールはオール・フォー・ワンを撃つという命題を抱えている。ヤギ君がやり遂げたかに見えた。だが兄さんはしぶとく再び返り咲こうとしている。
And now they're both out. There's two users of that fucking
逃げら
quirk.
れないという話の後に言うのは
Like, we really got to address that. Like, genuinely.
死柄木弔は私の孫だ。
It's just All for One isn't really Deku's enemy, it's Shigaraki, so you gotta give All for One to someone else. But it can't be Yagi, it can't be All Might.
失敗し続けた大人が16の子供に負債を押し付けるの
Unless
は
by some ridiculous circumstance the rest of the class takes on All for One. Bakugo kills
あれ
him.
が巨悪となり果てたらもう誰にも止められない。許すことも分かり合うことも叶わない。
He'll be a true monster among monsters.
助けを求めているように見えた人間が救いようのない人間だった時に君は殺してでも止めるという覚悟はあるかい？
オグリは終わっているように見えた。
I love his voice filter right now, though.
そう感じたんです。ワン・フォー・オールの中に死柄木の自意識が侵入してきたとき、死柄木が己の夢を強く思ったとき、憎しみのその奥に泣いている子供を感じたんです。今までいろんな人と戦ってきました。彼らは折れなかった。戦って止めるしかなかった。でも彼らがどうしてそうなってしまったのか僕は知らなかった。知っていたなら
Oh my
何か
god,
違ってい
him.
たのかもしれない。戦うことには変わりないかもしれない。たくさんの人を殺した。大好きな人を傷つけた。
Yep. Again, you guys all survived that fight is just insane.
ワン・フォー・オールは殺すための力じゃなく助けるための力なんだとオールマイトから教わりました。僕だけじゃない。オールマイトと皆さんの培ってきた力が数えきれない人たちの心を支えてきたと思うんです。原点が打つための力であっても皆さんが命を懸けて紡いでくれてもう一つ大きな意味を持つようになったんです。殺して止める以外方法がないかもしれない。具体的にどうすればいいのかもわからないけれど
That little kid in Deku who still wants to save the day. Can you really do it though? I don't doubt in my mind All for One will die in the show, but you know, Shigaraki is another situation.
君たちに渡って本当に良かった。
I'm naked under here.
試すようなことをしてごめんな。グラントリノは生きてる。
Nice.
目が覚めたらよろしく伝えてくれ。
Because you two will never meet again.
私たちは選択を誤ったけれど私たちは弟子に恵まれた。
君たちもいい加減に協力してくれ。ワン・フォー・オールの力を全解放するための協力を。
言葉ではない感情が流れ込んでくる。歴代との対話、ワン・フォー・オールの真実、お師匠の葛藤、おぼろげにしかわからないけれど。
It's kind of wild though. He still has that connection to it, so he can loosely tell what's happening.
言葉じゃなく。
はじめまして、オールマイトさん。
君は
もろもろすっ飛ばして伺いたいことがあるんですけど。
Can you explain the lore of this show to me?
やばい感じっすか？
いや、大丈夫。
We kind of need that to come out, you know.
それよりなんだい、ホークス君。
ワン・フォー・オールとミドリア君についてです。
何？
先の戦いに参加したヒーローが辞職の際、メディアに伝えたものです。
Yep.
じわじわと広まっていってます。そして今しがたエンデバーさんからミドリア君が死柄木に狙われていたと伺いました。情報のすり合わせをしておきたい。俺たちはこれからヴィランだけじゃなく世論とも戦うことになるので。
この秘密は社会の混乱を防ぐためでもあり、君のためでもあるんだ。
Well, those two situations are kind of dead now.
諦めない者たち。
Like, I'm not saying we go public with One for All, but some more people can be let in.
すべてを話そう。
Damn right.
事件から3日が経った。パニックは収まらない。
That
不安
little,
が
huh?
伝染していた。けれどみんながみんなただ責め立てたいわけじゃなかったと思う。清廉潔白であってくれ。間違いなど犯してないと言ってくれ。不安だから安心させてくれ。すがるような思いがあったのだと思う。
ヴィラン連合のダビこと轟東也は、私の息子に間違いありません。
That is indisputable, really, at this point.
お詫びの申し上げようもございません。
Yeah, in my
エンデバーは
defense,
自身の
I thought he was dead.
家族のおぞましい過去
Can't say any more than that.
うわ、エンデバー終わりじゃん。
ひどい話ね。嘘でもいいから嘘って言えよ。
先ほど真実とおっしゃいましたが、
ホークスとベストジーニスとはダビの告発と異なるようですが、
ベストジーニストさん殺害は潜入のための工作であり、告発の全てを覆すものではありません。父の件も逃げるヴィランを刺し殺したのも事実です。父について隠していたことにつきましていません。父の件も逃げるヴィランを刺し殺したのも事実です。
Poor old Twice, one of the better
父に
villains,
ついて隠
honestly.
していたことにつきまして謝罪申し上げます。
Such a shame, but he was a genuine nightmare to deal with.
ブバイガーラに関しましてはアースルより他になかったと考えております。彼が個性を発動していれば想定される被害規模は今の日ではありませんでした。彼に罪を償わせることができなかったのは私の不徳の致すところであり残念に思います。
よろしいでしょうか。ギガントマキアの銃弾によって私の母は重傷を負いました。
Get fucked.
すべて事実でした。すみません。じゃ取り返しのつかない事態なんですよ。この1週間弱でどれだけの人が住む家を失ったかご
What do you
存
want
知で
them
す
to do about that? That
な
wasn't
ぜ
their
そんな詰ま
concern.
った顔でいられるんですか。やったのはヴィラン。しかし己の過ちがそうさせたのだと分かっている顔には見えませんが。
Bro, no one was gonna stop Makia. No one.
取り返しがつきますか。
Even All for One, or even One for All can do it.
社会の不安を取り除け。ヴィランを全部片付けろ。それが
おっしゃる通りです。それが今エンデバーにできる償いです。
とはいえヒーローも減ってしまった今、全ての人々を守るのは困難です。つきましては守るべき範囲を削減します。政府との相談の上、本日より遊泳をはじめとした広大な敷地と十分なセキュリティを持つヒーロー科の学校を指定避難所として開いていただく運びとなりました。すでに学生の家族には避難を進めてもらっています。
So we're getting the students themselves to just basically be heroes now, to actually guard the citizens.
これから命を張る者たちにではなく、みんなで俺を見ていてくれ。
ヒーローがふるいにかけられた。人々から求められるものをヒーローだというならば、あの日、ヒーロー
Hey,
は消え
someone's
た。
getting back into action.
それでも、まだ立ち上がる人はいる。
Whoa, did he lose an eye?
いじめ足りなか
That
っ
would
た
suck.
エンデバーはワン・フォー・オールへの問いに「わからない」とだけ答えた。デク君とオールマイトに石が投げられないように。
Fair.
みんな大変だ。ドアに緑谷からの手紙。
Given enough truth that they would have plausible deniability for some things.
オール・フォー・ワン、ヴィランが狙ってる。
なんなんだよ。
Oh.
緑谷ちゃん。
Oh, what the fuck? Is he telling everyone?
今までありがとう。
Is he? Oh my god, he's telling everyone. Oh my god, he's telling everyone about One for All. Holy
こ
shit!
の手紙を書き残しておきます。僕の力はオールマイトから授かった特別な
Oh
もの
no!
で
Oh, that's a
シガラキとオー
ballsy
ルフォー
one.
ワンは僕を狙って動いています。このままだとみんなを巻き込んでしまうから。だから雄英校から出ていきます。ヒーロ
Really?
ー科に入れて A 組のみんなと出会えて本当に嬉しかった。ありがとう。
Bro, how?
さ
Bro,
ようなら。
dude. I know I keep saying it, but how do we have 2 more seasons? Genuinely speaking, like, how do we have 2 more seasons of this show with stuff like that? He's literally leaving UA.
デク君がヒーローアカデミアを去った。
And time skip, right? Time skip. Yo! Oh my god.
でっけえヴィラン。
Oh my god. Oh my god. The final act begins, bro. Alright. So Loki, like, actually Loki, why does this kind of look like Stain? Like, genuinely, why does this fucking, attire actually look like Stain? You know? I need to look up Stain, because he's got, like, the tattered clothes. The clothes are just completely, they've been in an apocalypse themselves. He's got the scarf, you know, yeah, he's got the tattered scarf as well on his body. It's not like 1-to-1, obviously, but it's damn inspired. The legs are almost the same, you know, all tattered as well. And yeah, it's just like, I get big Stain vibes from this. He's got like the shoulder pad, he's got the shoulder arms, not the shoulder, but just the armband things, which are, you know, kind of similar. And yeah, this whole design just gives me massive Stain energy, honestly. And it looks good. This does look like rogue, vigilante kind of Deku right here. This does look like... This looks low-key like a villain, but obviously with the context of Deku, it's a vigilante getup. But it's really good. I actually really like this design. Oh my god. Okay. So that's really fun.
でっけえヴィラン。
The final act begins. Again, this is season 6. We have much more to go. You know, by the end of the show, we're going to have over 50 episodes to go. We definitely have that anyway, because, well, season 8 is going on at the time this is being recorded. I haven't heard anything about it not being a typical 25 season or episode season of My Hero. So, unless it's like, you know, half of that, and we get like 13 episodes, yeah, it'd be around like 50 or so. In total left for the series, not counting like that weird spin-off thing they had in between seasons 7 and 8. But yeah, so that was episode 18, and we got pretty much like the confirmation on like the situation with One for All. Now, it's never really been like, I wouldn't say it's been implied before or anything that like there there was a problem in theory with the quirk being with other users. It does work logistically because we have established already many a time in the story that outside of All For One, you pretty much cannot have an additional quirk safely or naturally, because doing that is too much strain on the body. The human mind can't really adapt to a second quirk because of the quirk factor, and if you attempt to do that kind of stuff, you create Namus, and that's kind of the only way you can compatibly do that kind of thing. And obviously, like, the weird shit with just All For One or One For All, like, storing the all the other quirks that the past users have had, you know, it's a special kind of addition to it because it is a stockpiling a power. But I think it does make sense. Like I said, I don't think that's ever been hinted at before. It's just been a funny coincidence that, like, the last two users have been the only other quirkless wielders of One For All ever. So that makes sense. And then obviously All For One's origin was a mixture of two quirks combined into one anyway, which pretty much just translated into a single quirk and count him as a single quirk in the quirk factor. So that does make sense. It is very interesting that that's the course they had with this, and that now, I guess, outside of, like, quirkless individuals themselves, the quirk pretty much can't be transferred anymore, like, unless it'll probably just kill someone in, like, you know, 5-10 years if they did get it, if they did take it. So, you know, just quirkless people pretty much are the only viable candidates left. And since we know that the number of, you know, quirkless, you know, continues to dip every generation, you know, by the time Deku's, like, you know, All Might's age, it's gonna be pretty hard to find anyone that is quirkless, and as a result, the quirk might as well retire, you know? I mean, at the end of the day, if All For One and Shigaraki are both dead by that point, you don't need the quirk anymore anyway, you know? But we'll definitely see on that. So yeah, very interesting. We also got the classic, you know, the classic question of, can Deku actually kill Shigaraki if he needs to? Will his moral code allow him to do that? Will the way that he views things in contrast to the previous wielders of One For All, will that let him break through that mental barrier, even if Shigaraki is someone that wants to find help deep down, that even he doesn't know it, with as much destruction as he's already done? Is that even viable, you know? Because he's kind of got ridiculous power right now, you know? He's almost too powerful to even give the chance of redemption to, you know? He's almost too much of a chaotic threat at this point, given that he has all the powers of All For One at this point, to really want to take the chance. And even if it's not Deku, you know, convincing anyone else to give him a chance beyond this point is pretty much nigh impossible. So it is quite a big quarry to think about there, because, like, you know, I don't think Shigaraki should be redeemed. I don't think he should honestly live past the series, to be honest. I don't feel like we've kind of been built into anything like that. But it's definitely going to be interesting. I don't doubt ever that All For One is going to die in the show. But I don't think it should be Deku. I just don't feel like All For One fits as a Deku kind of antagonist. I definitely feel like he should be someone else's, you know, be it in some way Yagi can get involved in that. Endeavor, of course, you know, the top heroes, maybe even the 1A students, you know, maybe Bakugo. If Bakugo's not involved with Shigaraki personally, maybe give him, you know, be part of the team that takes out All For One, and then, you know, that'll give him some kind of main character energy by fully taking out the oldest villain in history at this point, where this whole shit started from. I think that would be pretty cool, you know. But that is genuinely now one of my most anticipated things about My Hero, is just seeing how they divide the time with Shigaraki and All For One, since they both have different goals, they both need to be taken care of. I'm really curious just who's going to be dealing with them, and I just really, really hope it's not Deku for both of them. I just don't feel like it fits. But yeah, you know, pretty great stuff. Secret's out, literally. Deku's gone. He is just outed One For All to, like, everyone now, making Bakugo the only privileged guy in the story at this point who knows that secret, but everyone. So, with that knowledge, very curious to see what's going to come of that. Very funny that, like, the minute that, you know, the schools are being converted into shelters and whatnot, that's when he dips, since it almost seems like his mama, Inko, is going to be in UA now to be protected, and Deku's out there, you know, playing cleanup, searching for, Shigaraki, All For One, probably capturing the rogues that have broke out of prison, all that good stuff, you know, just doing vigilante work. So, that is interesting. And yeah, I mean, this is a new darker route to take My Hero. It doesn't seem like right now that we might actually focus on Toya in this season anymore. Since we might be getting a Deku arc, the Deku Vigilante arc at this point, I guess you could call it. But we're gonna see. But even still, low-key, that has been great stuff. Like I said, I think Season 6 so far has been really good. I have enjoyed the aftermath of the Paranormal Liberation Front's, battle. I like the battle itself, and I like where we're going with this finale, as presumably this Deku thing's gonna last until like the end of the season. So yeah, so far about 2/3 of the way done. Season 6 has been great. It's been a lot better than Season 5 for sure, definitely, and I'm really curious to see where we go with it. So yeah, guys, that's gonna do it for this video. Hope you've enjoyed, and I shall see you next time.